Hello everyone, hi. Welcome to the channel of Wall Street Mojo. Friends, today we have a topic which is finance versus accounting. I mean, what is exactly the better option? We'll try and understand this difference. You don't need to worry. We'll be discussing many topics here so that, you may have a clear idea regarding what exactly is good. See, many students think that, finance and accounting STEAM are a system from the same domain. They are from the same domain of expertise. But if you ask an accountant or a finance guy who has been working as in a corporate for a long time, they would tell you how different they are in terms of their nature, scope, work, or the area of expertise. So in this tutorial, we'll look at both of this domain and investigate how different they are, and yes, they are related, but they are not the same. And to be good in the finance, you need to know the basic accounting, but that does not mean that both are the same thing. We'll discuss in depth, we'll make an in-depth analysis of this. And what we will do is we'll prepare a table over here. We'll say the comparison part, the finance over here, and the accounting part here. We'll start with the difference. The first, I want you to understand what exactly this is all about. See, finance is basically a science of, you can say, of planning. It's a science of planning the distribution of the assets within the company. And if you see for accounting on the other hand is basically what we call as the art of summarizing things, summarizing the reports, a recording of the finance related transactions, and so on and so forth. Second, what are the career option finance? You have investment banking, you have corporate finance, then you have equity research, private equity, risk management, probably quantitative analysis, project finance, and so-called the technical analysis. In accounting, you have the career options like, forensic accounting, you have management accounting, then you have sort of what is called as public accounting, then financial accounting, then you have auditing in this, auditing of both and also government accounting. So all are this career option in both of this scenario. The third is point of difference is what sort of education you need to obtain. In case of finance, bachelor's in finance will be suitable for you, or accountancy will also be fine in this in terms of bachelor's. Bachelor's in economics will also go in good. MBA is a master's option. CFA is there, FRM or PRM is there, CFP, certified financial planner, and so on and so forth are there. Over here, this will remain the same. The bachelor's in accounting instead of economics, you have chartered accountancy, CA, you have CPA, ACCA, CIMA, you have CIMA here, you have CMA. So all these are the educational drivers that will help you to reach there. Now, which are the top firms that will hire you in this kind of scenario? Companies like Blackstone, Goldman Sachs, you have Morgan Stanley, we have Bank of America, Merrill Lynch, Credit Suisse, Citibank, HSBC, UBS Bank, JP Morgan is there, and so on and so forth. It goes, the list is just too long. Over here in accountancy, you have PwC, KPMG, these are the four big firms, Deloitte, then you have EY, that's the Ernst & Young, Grant Thornton, then you have BDO of USA, Baker Tilly, and so on and so forth. Now, how exactly the work life will go in this? The fifth point is the work life. Well, it depends on the subdomain in the finance you are working for. Like, let's say in investment banking, if you're working, it's brutal. Equity research, I'll say this is really brutal. If you are in equity research, the analysts have a balanced work life. Depending on the area, you may have to work for, let's say, 10 to 18 hours a day. In accounting, you can say there is a balanced life. There's a much better than the financial analyst. Work is not urgent all the time of the year. Now, the sixth, part, that is the travel part that is involved. So mostly they are not required to travel much. You can safely assume that 90% of the time you spent in the office. Over here also, no, not much travel is involved. Now, what are the key words that they use in this particular field? So financial modeling is one thing that they use. Valuations, mergers and acquisitions, NPV, IRR, and so on and so forth. Over here, journal, ledger, balance sheet, CFS, cash flow statement, income statement, and so on and so forth. Now, what are the exit opportunities after this? Well, like for example, in investment banking, moving into from IB to PE, the private equity, or a research sell side analyst moving into sell side to buy side analyst profile. Over here, you can move to as a CFO or a managerial position or maybe corporate finance. Now, what are the networking opportunities? What are the networking opportunities? Well, financial management professional earns closely around $84,000 per annum on an average. The median annual salary of an accountant in US is $65,940 per annum. Now, what are the pros and cons? The pros, if you see, your option in the field are much more than any other profession, and you need to know your career goals and you can pursue any financial career accordingly. The success in the finance domain mainly depends on the what is called as the technical skills and much lesser on the personality traits. But over here, as an accountant, you can move to any different careers. You can work as an auditor, you can work as a tax consultant, or choose to go for management accounting. The best part of accounting is the work life balance. 11. What are the cons? Well, the compensation. The compensation in most of the finance profession does not reach six-figure marks. Few do. If you want to get compensated well above the average, you need to work in yourself. Work-life balance is dependent on the domain of the work, but the work pressure always prevails. Now, this domain is very narrow, and rarely do you have any opportunity to specialize in something really very broader. So, well, this were all the differences. I hope you have got real idea regarding what is finance and accounting. So, first, let's understand. Well, this is the difference between the finance and accounting. As of now, all these points are pretty much self-explanatory in itself, and probably you should take a decision based on your career goals, what exactly you want to go for in your life, and then accordingly choose. You can take this point of comparisons to decide exactly what is good and what is bad for you. So that's it for this particular career option session. Thank you everyone for joining the session.